Good morning. Happy Tuesday at Ignite. How are we this morning? Thank you for being here early. And it's truly been an amazing 10 years for Yammer. I mean, can you believe it? That it's been 10 years since Yammer first burst onto the scene. And we've had a ton of successes. And for that, we have all of you to thank for that. Our customers, our partners, our amazing group of Yammer MVPs. Thank you for all that you've done over the years. So I'd like to take just a few moments to celebrate what we've accomplished over that time with many of you. Now, I truly believe that a lot of the success that we've seen has been due to a larger movement that all of you have been a part of, a movement to transform the way that employees within your organizations communicate with one another, the way they share knowledge and ideas at a scale that companies like these and companies like yours just had never quite seen before. And in my time at Yammer, I've been fortunate enough to talk with many of you about the transformative powers that Yammer has had on your organizations. And what we found is that when companies have employees that are engaged and aligned, they see real tangible benefits, like these, where companies with highly engaged employees enjoy, on average, 21% higher profits. But we know that there's a flip side to this. The majority of your organizations don't enjoy this high level of employee engagement. So we know that there's still opportunity for growth ahead of us. And we've seen that growth, and we're excited about that growth, and we've been proud and honored to be part of that journey with you to improve areas like employee engagement. And we've seen that growth over time. Since 2012, on average, we're seeing 47% growth in monthly active usage, and on average, 43% growth in users posting from their mobile device. Earlier this year, in January, February timeframe, we also released the Yammer Conversation Highlights web part for SharePoint, and that's being added to more than 10,000 sites daily. But again, the success that we've seen has been due in large part to your efforts, your hard work in being change agents within your organization to change the way that people work, to drive towards key business outcomes. Take a company like Air France. Air France has more than 50,000 employees. 90% of those employees aren't your typical knowledge worker, at least not in the traditional sense. These are your flight attendants, your gate crew, your ground crew. But what Air France recognized was that these are knowledge workers. They have immense knowledge that needed to be unlocked in order for their company to get better. And they used Yammer to do that. Grundfos is one of the world's leading manufacturers of pumps. They have more than 20,000 employees across the globe. And their CEO will often take to Yammer and post about customers that he's visiting with, facilities that he's going to around the globe. And it's not uncommon for somebody on the shop floor to take to their mobile device and post and give some feedback about a new product or about the new company strategy. And you see, it's this level of employee engagement and leadership engagement that gives Grundfos employees the trust and the safety to share their ideas and share their knowledge more openly. And Grundfos has said that by doing so, they've been able to solve problems faster, innovate faster, and just create generally better products for the market. And at Kingfisher, which is Europe's largest home improvement company, they have 74,000 employees. Learn with Lorraine is a popular video series that is posted to Yammer, where Lorraine walks their employees through their unique line of oven ranges in a very accessible way. And without Yammer, it would have been really difficult for them to disseminate this sort of knowledge and get the back and forth conversation that they really needed to in order to exchange knowledge and information and ideas. The other thing that Yammer has served to do for many of us has been to inspire us. Inspire us to have the courage to ask for the support of our colleagues. And so here at Microsoft, we've been going through a pretty immense culture change with Satya at the helm. And at the heart of that culture change lies an increased emphasis on diversity, and perhaps more importantly, on inclusion. I'm sure many of you have very similar diversity and inclusion efforts happening in your organizations. And if you do, you know that it takes real effort to create a culture that embraces people with different backgrounds and different viewpoints, perhaps even harder for the people within that culture to be accepting of that diversity. So we've been going on this journey here at Microsoft, and do you know how I knew that we were actually making progress? This post. Not too long ago, Sasha made this post in our Microsoft-Yammer network. She's publicly announcing her gender transition. And she's asking for the help and the support of her colleagues to address her in a way that makes her feel more comfortable, more included, more accepted, more comfortable. And what struck me most about her posts was just how brave she was to say, you know what, I'll be patient with you, all of you, during this time of change. Just really amazing to me that she was worried about us. She was worried about our feelings, our discomfort during this immense time of change in her life. Needless to say, there was an outpouring of support. Go, Sasha, we're here to support you. We're here for you every step of the way. Even a post from our Chief Diversity Officer offering her support and her affirmation. And we've heard many similar stories from many of you where your employees are living the values of your organizations. You see, Yammer has become an important platform for many of our customers to align their employees on key company goals and key company objectives. So thank you for inspiring us to create a platform that allows us to bring out the best in your culture, your employees, your people. And we've learned a ton over the years from watching many of you be successful with Yammer. And with those learnings, I'd like to bring to the stage General Manager for Yammer and Office 365, Murali Citron, to talk about where we're taking Yammer next.
Thank you, Steve. Steve is an institution for Yammer. You know that? I think all of us should appreciate all the great things that he does in connecting all of you. So thank you, Steve. But more importantly, thank you all. 10 years in the life of a tool, which is for business purposes, is unique. There are not that many tools that last that long, if you think about it. Maybe email, chat is early in its evolution. Clearly, content creation tools. But there are not that many that are tools like Yammer that last for this long. So we're really proud of where we are. But we are just at the beginning. There's a long way to go, and we need your help. So what I'm going to do in the next 15 minutes is to tell you some of the journey that we're going to take over the next few years. And we pray for the same participation we've seen over the last 10 years over the next few with you. All right, it's actually been about a year for me at Microsoft in Yammer. In fact, I joined last year at this very event. It's been amazing. It's an amazing journey. We've got a great team and a great tool, and we're investing ever more than before. So where are we investing this is really the question. So let's start with our vision. This is our long-term goal. We talked about this in the video. Maximize impact for everyone in the organization. Now, this could be a CEO. This could be somebody on the front line, everyone in between. And we think a tool like Yammer can create that impact, not just at a personal level, but at a company level, at a team level, at the scale that no other tool can. And you all know this today. You've sort of seen this in pockets. And our goal is to sort of maximize that now over the next few years. But before I tell you the strategies that are going to enable this vision, I want to spend a few minutes going back a year. Who remembers this slide about the inner loop and the outer loop, right? We've created a little bit of controversy with this because you can't go tell an end user, look, you're an inner loop person, you're an outer loop person. But it's a framework. It helps us think through how we can build our products and how we can communicate it with you or to your end users. So I think it's a very helpful sort of framework to be able to continue the conversation. But please don't take this to your end users and say you are inner loop or outer loop, because everybody should be both, right? From our perspective, if you think about a tool like Teams, its core function is to be great at meetings and great at bringing people together in small projects. That's its core function. It may do other things. In fact, we want it to do other things. But that's its core purpose. Outlook's core purpose is to help you manage time and communicate with people across the organization and beyond. Yammer's core purpose is to inform and engage across the organization, break down silos. And that's really where we're going to invest going forward. And we're going to use other investments across Microsoft, like Stream for video and SharePoint for content collaboration, Office 365 groups, and a variety of other things across our portfolio to be able to engage these experiences for you. All right, so again, keep this in mind. This is just a framework, and it's something that we'd like you to think through as we go forward in this vision journey. We then, using that framework, using all the examples of what we've learned from you, spend a bunch of time trying to figure out what is Yammer unique at. It's important to understand what it's unique at so that you can accentuate that in the future. We believe the #1 superpower for Yammer is that it engages people in these large-scale, participatory conversations. Now, this is a long, big sentence and term, but it's important to understand why it is that Yammer is so great at this. So let's dig down a little bit here in detail. #1, Yammer is inclusive. You don't have to opt people in or opt people out. It's open by default. Everybody can converse with everybody else. Leaders with frontline, across time zones, across languages. It's a very unique tool for this purpose. Next, Yammer preserves context. I'm getting a little geeky here, but it's important to understand this as we build towards our roadmap in the future. It preserves context because it threads conversations in unique ways. You know exactly the scope of whom you're sharing with. I like to use this term of long half-life. You know, when's the last time you looked at your iMessage or Android messages and sort of searched through history? As soon as you respond to something, it's sort of lost its importance. Even in email, or after a few days, those email threads don't have much meaning. But in Yammer, some of these conversations can go on for weeks, months, in fact, years. And the long half-life of these conversations are a unique superpower of Yammer. I hear and I see a lot of nodding heads because you've seen this power at use. And so what we want to do in the future is accentuate that. The third area that I think Yammer is super at is non-invasive conversations. You get pulled in only if your ad mentioned, or if you've responded to it at some point in time. It doesn't flood your inbox. It doesn't force you into things that you're not supposed to at a time you're not ready for. You can go to it at your time. Now, it has some disadvantages, of course, but it is a superpower. And we should try to accentuate that in terms of the features that we would like to bring to you and your end users. And last but not the least, it's great at lightweight engagement. We've seen this before. A quick like here, a quick photo post. It allows us to ensure that people get engaged in ways that they're comfortable with. They don't have to write long diatribes of email or text. They can just sort of simply like it. They can post a photo, and they can start a conversation. So why do I bring you all this? I think it's important for us to all understand that all of these superpowers lead to unique use cases. And those use cases are around 3 areas. I'm going to start with the middle. We talked about Sasha's post. It creates transparency across the organization. It brings people together in a unique way that no other tool can. It allows for two-way expression. A CEO can post something, and someone on the front line can respond. In most organizations, that conversation cannot take place in any other way. You know, you can send them an email, maybe, but the CEO likely will not respond. But in a forum like this, it's more likely that they do. There are people in this room who are tasked with making that conversation happen. And then last but not the least, this is, to me, one of the most important aspects of a tool like this. It allows for discoverability. You can get informed about things, meetings, projects, concepts, work, innovation that's happening in places that you didn't even know existed. Like, I use this every day towards the evening, or a glass of wine. I know it's a bit early right now, but maybe this evening. By the way, we have more that we'd like to talk to you about, how we'd like to get your engagement later this evening, or a glass of wine. But I'd like to go through my discovery feed and see what's happening across our team. It gives me a view into things that may be stuck somewhere that I can unstuck. There are things that I can see where I feel pride and of all the great work that's taking across teams. I get a chance to listen to our customer success managers and our sales folks as they talk to their customers. It just gives me an amazing bird's eye view of what's taking place across our organization. There's no other tool that can make that happen. So if these are all the superpowers, the question is, where are we taking Yammer next? And it's 3 areas of investment. By the way, there's never been a time that Microsoft has invested more in Yammer than we do right now. We have more people working on Yammer than we've had in the past. And we believe there's strength in our ability to bring that entire suite together. We'll be showing you a few demos of that as we go forward. But the 3 areas of investment. Number 1, employee engagement, leadership connection. We believe that engaging employees across geographies, time zones, functions is a core purpose of Yammer. And we'll be investing in that area. The second, I'm going to go towards the right here, which is we're going to be investing in integrating Yammer's superpowers into the rest of the Office suite. So integrations into Teams, integrations with SharePoint to bring you unique value. Integrations with Outlook. By the way, we haven't done that. That's pretty amazing. We can go deep with this. And integration across the rest of the suite with Stream, with content, files. There's just so much we can do to bring value to your end users so it feels seamless. It feels natural. We want to take away this question of which tool when. We want not to have to show you that slide again of the inner loop and the outer loop. All of this, of course, on the bedrock of what Microsoft 365 brings, which is compliance, trust. Your data is your data. We're just sort of processing it for you once in a while. So you need to decide what you want to do with it, where you want to keep it, how you want to disseminate it. And that's something that we must enable for you. So these are the areas we're going to be investing in Yammer. And of course, I forget, perhaps the most important area of investment, which is in building community. That's really where Yammer has shown over time. So let me dig down on this a little bit. In terms of community, we feel there are 3 constituents. There are members like you and me who participate, who bring our knowledge, our passion, our capabilities. Then there are community champions. There are many in this room who are paid to effectively ensure that our platforms, that community is built across companies. And then, of course, there are what we call, or whom we call, catalyzers. People who are CEOs, leaders, people in IT, many of you in this room, people in corporate communications, people in HR. And you know what? Over time, we've built features for those members because tools like this work best when they're sort of ground up. But we've learned a thing or two. And what we want to do in addition to that is to invest in building for community champions and catalyzers. And that's an area of investment that you will see over the next few years because you spend your time making these communities happen. And we haven't really built tools for you that make you successful. There's so many things that you've asked for that we haven't delivered at the rate at which you'd like. And so that's where we're going to invest as we go forward in the future. We'd like your ideas, by the way. This is not an exhaustive list today of all the things we could possibly do, but we want to tell you a little bit of a change in orientation. And by the way, that doesn't mean we're going to forget our end users. That's not the point. The point here is, can we rotate a little bit and focus on community champions, on catalyzers, on the people who ensure these networks are vibrant and strong? All right, let's talk a little bit about trust. We've spent a lot of time integrating Yammer into the rest of the Office 365 suite, but we're not quite yet there. We haven't completed that job. There's a variety of different things the rest of our tools give you that Yammer quite doesn't, and it confuses you because you can do it with some tools and you can't do it with others. And that's something that we want to fix over the next year or two. So everything around compliance, trust, things like e-discovery. We have built Yammer to be fully on across all of our SKUs, but we haven't given you all of the flavors of flexibility and capability that those SKUs demand. Things like local data residency in Europe. And I know a lot of my European friends want to talk to us about how we're going to store your data in Europe, given that it is your data. And we're going to be working on that. We'll give you some news here in a second. We also want to be ready for some massive scale for Yammer. We've got millions of users, but we think we're going to get tens of millions more. And that's because we're going to be really focused on those use cases. We're not going to try to confuse our users about which tools to use. We're going to be very clear about the use cases so they know when to come to which tool when. It's just natural. So that's really where we're going to be going here in the short term. Oh, by the way, we're building a lot of back-end capability to be in a position where we can scale Yammer and deliver on all of the capabilities that I just talked about. But in the meantime, we've delivered quite a few features over the year. I'm not going to drain this slide. I would ask you to come to our booth. We've got about 30 people here from Yammer, and we'd love to answer your questions, show you some of these features, and talk to you about what's next. All right, so what's next? I'd like to make sure that rather than show you a bunch of slides, that we jump into a demo and show you some of the capabilities that we're building now for imminent availability to our customer base. So Steve, take it away.
Thank you, Murali. So we've talked a bit about our focus on employee engagement and on leadership engagement. So we're excited to bring to you a new capability called live events in Yammer. And this is something that we're really excited to bring because we've talked with many of you about your desire to engage your leaders in more meaningful ways. And you've told us that having live video broadcasts in Yammer is important to you. So when I'm here in the executive corner group, and this is where Contoso Electronics has their leadership and their employees connecting together on conversations that are important about the topics and strategy of Contoso Electronics. When I scroll through the feed here, I want to just point out a new section over on the right rail. You see over on the right, we have this group events section. And this group events section is where you will see when you've scheduled a new live event or if you've had any past live events, they'll show up in this group event space. But I also notice that there happens to be a live event happening now. And I can see that, of course, I'm in the group, and I see there's a banner indicating that there is a live event happening right now, but there's also a little signal in the group's rail to indicate that there's a live broadcast happening, so I can click on that. When I go to it, you see that the live event itself is the hero, is the star of the page itself. So when your employees come to the page, the video plays automatically. I have the audio turned off right now so it doesn't cause too much disruption. But now you have your live event, whether it be a town hall event, maybe it's a department event that you're doing. It could be even a webinar that you're doing within your organization. As I scroll through the feed, you see that the supporting cast, if you will, is the conversations that provide depth and that provides depth to the actual event itself, to the topic at hand. You see that the stars actually remains on the stage itself. It floats, so you don't have to lose context of the video. Even if I move to a different group or a different place in Yammer, that video stays with me throughout. The other benefit to this, yeah, feel free to applause. And like Murali said, we are leveraging the power of the suite to bring this capability to you. So this broadcast is actually broadcast to you through Stream. And one of the benefits to that, and this is actually an archived video here, but what happens is at the end of that event automatically gets archived and saved into the associated Stream channel. Now, you get a couple benefits with that. Of course, with Stream, you get all the benefits of transcription. You can search that transcription. You get facial recognition. And of course, over here on the right-hand side, you get the Yammer conversation as well. So again, our strategy to make sure that Yammer shows up in more surfaces so you continue to get the value of Yammer in other parts of Office 365, you see that here on the Stream page itself. Now, as many of you have seen, maybe you've done similar type of events. If maybe you've been using live events in preview, you see that one of the benefits of using Yammer for a scenario like this is that the conversations persist. So people can continue asking questions after the event. People can continue answering questions, providing feedback after the event within that Yammer group. And so let's say that I'm a part of the internal communications team that is in charge of monitoring this executive corner group. And of course, naturally, they are using Teams to collaborate. They're using Teams to collaborate about the day-to-day activities of coordinating the event, day-to-day activities of activities that's happening within internal comms. But as a team, they also want to be able to keep tabs on what's happening within the executive corner itself. And as Murali mentioned, we introduced the notion of the inner loop and outer loop to you last year. But what you told us was that you wanted better ways to be able to navigate between Yammer and Teams. So we're excited to bring to you the new Yammer tab in Teams, which will allow this internal communications team to both work and do their day-to-day work within Teams, but also have a view within a tab to the Yammer executive corner itself. And so as I scroll through the feed here, you see all the same conversations that we had within the executive corner. But I might see that there is a conversation happening in here, and I see Adele has a question here about the new campus building. And so what I can do here is I might not be ready to answer, or maybe I don't even know what the answer is to her question. But I have the ability here to share this to the channel. So I can say, what are we able to say about the availability of the new facility? And I can hit share. And as I do that, I go back to the Conversations tab for the team, and you see now our team can have a little back channel discussion. I wasn't ready. We weren't ready to actually talk about what we were going to, when we were going to make the new campus available, or what's happening with the new campus. So now we can have a back and forth dialogue, a back and forth back channel about this, and then once we're ready, we can go back into the tab and answer that question more publicly. So we are excited to bring Yammer to another place within Office 365 with Teams to continue to bring the value of Yammer into more places. Another place that we're investing in making Yammer the social layer across Office 365, of course, is SharePoint. We believe, with our emphasis on community, we think that SharePoint and Yammer are a match made in heaven. For Yammer for the conversations, and of course SharePoint for that the ability to create deep, rich content, whether it be news articles or documents. If I scroll through the page here, excuse me, you see on the left-hand side we have our updated Yammer web part, Yammer Conversations web part. So if I scroll through the feed here, you see that images render beautifully. We have documents displaying right in line. And best of all, it inherits all the styles as well. I'm going to switch to my mobile device real quick. And you can see the same view. There we go. We can see the same view of that SharePoint site. You can see the Yammer feed right there. And we did this without doing any additional work. It inherited the styles of the page and embedded on the page beautifully. So we think this will be a great upgrade to what we previously released to the Yammer Conversation Highlights web part. We think this is going to be a great addition to many of your SharePoint-based intranet sites. What do you think? The other area that we've been working on to improve with SharePoint is in the area of files. I'm going to close the video so it's not too distracting during the demo. The other area that we've been improving with SharePoint is in the area of files. Now, we know that it doesn't really make sense for Yammer to have its own repository of files. It's just not sustainable for us anymore, especially when we know that there's a much better place within the suite for SharePoint to manage those files for us. So in the very near future, when you upload a file to SharePoint, when you upload a file to Yammer, it'll automatically go to the connected SharePoint library for that Yammer group. And so the way that this will work is I'm going to upload a file to Yammer as I normally would. I have this PowerPoint document here. So please check out the new playbook and give feedback. And so I can post this. And you can see from an end user capabilities, there's not really much change, right? There's not a lot different that happens. I can upload it, I get the nice document preview. What happens is when I go to the Yammer Files tab, I see the list of files for that group. And you can see over on the right-hand side, I can see the files that are in SharePoint, and I can see the files that are in Yammer. I could even filter and see only the files that are in SharePoint. And also, when I go to the document library itself, do a quick refresh here. So this is the document library for that retail readiness group. I see that file now lives within SharePoint. And so by having that file in SharePoint, of course, we get a number of benefits, right? You get all the benefits that you get from having your file stored in SharePoint. You get DLP, you get e-discovery, in-geo storage. You can apply things like Flow to it. You can access it through Delve. It's available in all your recent documents. So we're really excited about how having your documents from Yammer be in SharePoint will allow your employees to be much more productive in using their files. The last area that I want to talk about is, so yesterday, at the keynote, we talked about our continued investment in areas like Microsoft Search. And so we've been working with the Microsoft Bing team to have Yammer, again, bring the value of Yammer into Microsoft Search. So we've been working with the Bing for Business team to do that. So let's take a look. If I do a search for marketing, and of course, Contoso Electronics gets all the latest and greatest new stuff, so they get Bing for Business. And I'm going to highlight specifically here the Conversations tab. And here you see I get conversations from across teams or from across Yammer, so any of the teams that I'm a part of, anything related to marketing will show up in the search results. I just want to highlight Yammer. So the Yammer search results show you all the messages, all the public messages that I have access to, and any private messages that I have access to would show up in my search results as well. But we're excited about how this, again, demonstrates another key capability for us to be able to bring the value of Yammer into other parts of Office 365, specifically search. We'll make continued efforts on search, and we can talk with you at the booth about that. But again, we're excited about the breadth that we're able to do to bring Yammer to other parts of Office 365. Thank you. And so I'm sure the next question that you have is, when is this all going to come to us? So I'm going to bring Murali up to the stage to talk about that.
You notice that he does all the demos and I get all the hard questions. I don't know how that works. But thank you, Steve. Thank you. That was great. Let's give him another hand, please. All right. So let's go through some of the things that Steve showed you and see when they're going to make the light of day for your end users. So first, in Q4, which is calendar Q4 this year, starting October, next month, you're going to see the live and on-demand events. We're already in preview, by the way, that some of you are taking advantage of. That's going to start rolling out towards the end of the year. Okay? So that's one. The second, the Microsoft Search in Bing that Steve just showed is also going to ship in that quarter. So you'll be able to look at all content across all surfaces in Microsoft, including conversations in Teams and in Yammer. Now that's a superpower that only Microsoft can bring you. So we are thrilled to bring that capability to you so that you can see the benefit of that in your organizations. The files being stored by default in SharePoint is also going to start rolling out in Q4. We're testing it now with a few preview customers and within Microsoft. There's some great advantages there. Over time, we are not going to store any files in Yammer. It's going to be stored in SharePoint. And it's going to give you all the flexibility you need. And it sort of readies us in the direction that we'd like to take Yammer in the future, which is just an indelible part of the Microsoft 365 suite. So that's Q4. By the way, the other thing that we're doing in Q4 is moving all of our services to Azure. And this is a big, heavy lifting activity for us. And the reason we're doing this is that we want to bring scale to Yammer. We want to bring the ability to store your content in the locations that you're in. And we'll talk about that here in a second, but this is not just a back-end activity that won't have user benefit. We want to bring scale. We want to bring these services closer to you, where you are, proximate to your users. So we're going to use Azure regions across the world to be able to deploy Yammer. And that means these services are going to run closer to you, our hope is that it starts improving the performance of these applications for you in the long run. So now let's go into 2019. Q1, the two things that Steve showed, the Yammer Conversations web part, sort of the seamless integration with communication sites in SharePoint is going to be available in Q1. And the other thing that's going to be available in Q1 is the Yammer tab in Teams. And by the way, those are just first steps in our journey. There's just a lot of integration points that we can continue to build, but we want to rapidly iterate on this as we go forward. So those two things are going to be available for you in Q1. So then the question is, what about the rest of 2019? So we broke this down into half one and half two because it's very difficult for us to predict exactly when it's going to come in which quarter. But I'm going to just take a couple of examples. We talked about building for community champions, for community catalysts. We feel that a hero purpose of Yammer is to make sure that you can propose questions, ask questions, and get answers from the community. So we're going to build a first-class question and answer capability that fits within a Yammer post ethic. So now you have a post type that could be called a question. You can mark something a question, and a community champion or manager can then mark the best answer. And that then spreads knowledge across the organization. And we're going to start building out more and more features in that area. So that's our expectation to deliver in the first half of next year. By the way, one of the other things we want to do is make commitments that we can keep. In the past, we've perhaps been a little ambitious with you. We've said we're going to deliver certain things, and we've taken longer to deliver them because of all the heavy lifting we've done in the back end. For example, rich text. This is something that's so basic that we effectively haven't delivered for you, and it's our commitment that in the first half of next year that we'll bring this capability to all post types in Yammer. We've talked about live events, and we expect to continue to evolve our thought around live events. We've got two different types of live events going in Yammer. One is a Yam Jam. Many of you are very well-versed in the capabilities of Yam Jams and the value that that brings, but we really haven't built any features to make that better. So we're thinking through what an event looks like in Yammer. Is it a first-class citizen? Is that something that goes across communities? What are the different flavors of live events? We talked about video here as an example, but are there other types? And there are things that we can do to enable community champions, catalyzers, to be able to orchestrate these events better. So we're going to be doing more work in that area. And the one thing I want to cover there is the last item, which is e-discovery. For some of our IT friends in the audience, the rest of the Office suite provides this capability, but Yammer doesn't today. We're going to do that for files starting in Q4, but we want to do that for Yammer messages. And our expectation is late in half one, we'll be able to get to a preview, and then by this time next year, we'll be able to deliver that in a GA form. All right, a couple of other things as we go into half two. Our view is that we continue to integrate a lot of the capabilities from across the suite. In Microsoft 365, we've got something called a people card that represents an individual, all the documents you've shared with them, maybe the emails you've shared with them, maybe the LinkedIn profile. There's all sorts of things that you can see in that people card, but Yammer has its own version of that. So we're going to start integrating the suite to make sure that it feels like one. It feels like a small thing, but it's just a place where we can start thinking about expertise, and we can think about a unified profile of a person across your organization. So there's certain things we're going to deliver there in that area. And then I'm going to flip to the next slide because I want to talk about local data residency. There's a number of customers here from the EU, and this has been a long asked for feature. It's something uniquely Microsoft. We can do this for you because, again, we think this is your data. We're not borrowing something from some other platform. We're effectively ensuring that your data remains your data and that we know how to manage it on your behalf. So in Q2 of next year, we have a short preview that's, unfortunately, for some of you who haven't subscribed, already oversubscribed, but we're going to bring the ability of storing messages in Yammer in the EU. And that preview is going to run in the second quarter of next year, And then rapidly after that, going into half 2, we expect that to be a GA capability. So if your AD home is home to Europe, then your data will be stored in Europe as far as Yammer is concerned. We're going to start with Europe first. There are going to be 2 regions we're going to deploy this in Europe, and most likely in Ireland and in the Netherlands. And over time, we'll think about what that might mean for some of our global customers. So if you're a US-based company and you want your data in the US, your data will remain in the US. If you're a European company, and you want to store your data there, we can enable that to happen. There's some caveats, however, and I want to make sure that for those here in the audience who want to double-click on this, please come visit us at our booth. We'll talk more in detail about this. For example, this is first going to apply to net new customers who don't have a Yammer network. And so we're going to start from there, and then we're going to think about migration sometime in the future. Okay? So this is an important capability for us. You do not know the number of customers that have approached us who want to store their data in the EU, and we want to enable that to happen. So that's a key capability that we're going to be delivering. My view is that 2019 is going to be a year of innovation for us. And we're going to push on 3 vectors I talked to you about. Engaging leaders and the rest of their organization, so employee engagement. The second is to bring Yammer to all of the Office 365 surfaces. And you see some of the examples there already. And the third is to build capabilities for our catalyzers and champions to build community. And continue on this vector of ensuring that compliance, security, scale are all the things that we continue to invest in 2019. And the other thing that I'll commit to you is now that I've been here for a year, we have such a fantastic team that I feel confident in saying that if we put something on the slide here, we will deliver this next year in the timeframes that we're talking about. So you can bank on that because of the investments that we're pouring into Yammer. This is the most we've put into this team, and we will continue to invest as we go forward. All right, in closing, I have a few public service announcements. We have a number of us here from the Yammer team. We have several sessions. These sessions on this first page, by the way, there's another page behind this, are going to be run by some folks on our team. We'd love for you to attend to drill down on some of the things we just talked about. Most of them are on Tuesday, Wednesday, and some on Thursday. And these are the sessions from our wonderful MVPs, our customer case studies. We just want to make sure that you guys all take advantage of the knowledge there is in creating great, vibrant networks for Yammer. So there's 16, 17 sessions in all, so we hope that you can attend as many of them as you can here over the next few days. Most importantly, though, we want you to come and celebrate with us. It's been 10 amazing years, and we couldn't have done this without you. So this evening, between 6:30 and 9:30 at Itabena, it's just down the road on International Drive. It's a short walk from here. We expect everyone here to be there, and we're going to party like crazy, and we want to celebrate with you about all the great things that you've done for Yammer, and we'll celebrate with our team as well. So who's going to be there? All right. And then last but not the least, please fill out any of the evaluation forms you can so that you can give the great staff that have put all this stuff together some kudos. I wanted to thank Steve, and most of all, I wanted to thank you. Here's to the next 10 years of Yammer. Thank you very much.